Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the new palette from Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Berries and Cream Eyeshadow Palette. God, I'm so excited for this. So if you're interested in finding out what I have to say about this particular palette, make sure you keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Lord have mercy, I am so excited about Dominique Cosmetics. So ever since the brand first launched, I think last year, I have been dying to get my hands on some of the palettes that Dominique has come out with. So she's got the Latte palette, there was the Lemonade palette, and now she's introduced this palette to her line of cosmetics. She's got some liquid lipsticks too, but I have no desire to try any of those. I'm all about the eyeshadow palettes. And for the longest time, I just kept watching YouTube videos of people reviewing the gorgeousness that is Dominique eyeshadows. Unfortunately, I was not able to get my hands on them. I just thought the shipping was too expensive on her website, and then the conversion from US dollars to Canadian dollars, it just didn't make sense for me to go ahead and place an order. So instead, I bided my time, and when Sephora finally announced that Dominique Cosmetics was going to be sold online and in stores, I lost my mind. I was so excited. I swatched the Lemonade palette in store. I was able to swatch the Latte palette as well, and I fell in love. Now mind you, when I wanted to buy the Latte palette, it was out of stock, and the Lemonade palette, as beautiful as it was, I already had so many similar colors in my collection that I just didn't pull the trigger and buy it. So I waited. I waited for the Latte palette to come back in stock, and when it did, I realized that this palette was soon launching. So I decided to wait until this one came out because it has all of the tones that I am over the moon for. Folks, these palettes don't come cheap though. Maybe in American dollars it's a bit of an easier pill to swallow, but even at 44 US dollars, it's an expensive eyeshadow palette. So when you convert it to Canadian dollars, Sephora Canada is selling this particular palette for $56. So that is a good chunk of change that you're gonna be spending on this beautiful creation. While it is a lot of money to be shelling out for an eyeshadow palette, I'm also the idiot who spends $162 on Natasha Denona and 70 some odd dollars on Pat McGrath palettes. So it is what it is. Enough preamble, let's dive into this palette. So it does come with a beautiful metallic purple sleeve, which I think is stunning. On the back it shows you which shades are available. It's got the formula, so all of the ingredients that are in the palette. It does say that the palette has a shelf life of 12 months. Now that is the recommended shelf life. With powders, you can get away with a slightly extended life once you begin using them. The palette is cruelty free, which is something else that the packaging indicates. For those of you who are wondering, the palette is made in the US, and in terms of ingredient, the first ingredient that I'm seeing is talc. So it is a talc based formula, and this formula may contain carmine, so it's not 100%, but if it's listed on the back here, I'm assuming it contains carmine. So it is not a vegan palette. The palette does contain ultramarines, so that's known to cause some irritation for those with super sensitive eyes. I've worn this on my eyes now a couple of times and I haven't had any irritation, so I feel pretty comfortable with the formula, but I feel like I should put that out there just in case anybody is wondering. The great thing about this brand is that they do list all of the ingredients for the palette on their website, so if you want to do a little bit of research beforehand to see if you're going to like the formula, then you're more than welcome to do that. Let's talk about packaging. So we can slip the palette out of its sleeve, and it comes with this beautiful, I don't know how to describe it, it's just this really nice smooth cardboard packaging. It's got the really nice raised lettering that says Berries and Cream and Dominique Cosmetics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the magic happens when you crack open the palette. You do have have a gigantic mirror, a nice protective layer. So there's the mirror before I blind you. I'm gonna push that back a little bit, and there is the palette itself. Oh my goodness, is this not delightful? Honestly, I can't stop staring at these colors. They are just so beautiful. Everything that I love in life is pretty much included in this palette. Let's talk about the colors in this eyeshadow palette first. So you have Warm Pie, which is a red brown with gold glitter. There's Chocolate Mousse, which is a rich matte brown. Sweet Cream, which is a matte pale pink. Right next to that is Toasted, which is a matte gray. There's Bittersweet, which is a matte fuchsia color, and you have Soft and Sweet, which is the last color in the row, and that's more of a matte mauvey taupe sort of color. The second row starts off with a Honey Dipped, which is a gold foil color. You have Sugar Cookie right next to it, which is a pale pink shimmer. Cranberry is next to that, and it's a maroon red shimmer. Blueberry Muffin, which is described as a matte cobalt blue. Next to that is Cherry Juice, which I think is a great name. It is a matte deep plum color, and the last color in the palette is called Blackberry, and it is a matte black. From what I see in this palette, we do have 8 matte colors. There are 3 sort of metallic, more foiled colors, and then Warm Pie, which is in this corner over here, is a matte shadow, but it has a beautiful sort of gold and purple glitter in it. Full transparency, I've only worn this eyeshadow palette twice, and then I also applied it to my eyes today, which makes a total of 3 times using this palette. That's not a lot, I'll be honest with you, but I think I know how I feel about this particular formula, especially since I've played with so many different formulas now and so many different eyeshadow palettes. Right off the bat, I can tell you this is a good one. I love how creamy this formula is. It is very pigmented. I love how it blends out. It actually reminds me of the way my Dose of Colors eyeshadows blend out. They are just so beautiful. And as soon as you put them on your eyes, you've got this great pop of color. Like, I was stunned when I put on this purple color over here called Bittersweet. Oh my goodness, when it went on my eyes, it just, it felt like the heavens just opened up and Jesus said, way to go, and he high-fived me. Anyhow, I'm going to insert some clips here to show you how I created the look that I'm wearing on my eyes today. So I did start off with Sweet Cream, so this really nice color. It's a light lilac color, and I use that to accentuate my brow bone a little bit. So I just went in there and filled in my brow bone to give it a nice pop and highlight. After that, I went into Soft and Sweet. I used that as a transition color, so I laid that down in my crease nicely. I went into Bittersweet after, and I blew that color out as much as I could, and I love how beautiful it is. It blended so easily, it was nice and pigmented, and it is so complementary to all of the other colors included in this palette. From there, I used Cherry Juice. This color I really dug into my crease because I wanted some nice definition, and I blew it up slightly. Not much, but I didn't want to lose that color completely in my crease. I still wanted to make sure that it came through, but that went on super pigmented. Again, very easy to blend out. I dipped into Sugar Cookie after, and Sugar Cookie is just delightful. It is a really light color. You may want to use a wet brush when you apply it if you want it to stand out a little bit more, because I found on my eyes in my inner corner, it is there. You can see it. It's a beautiful highlight, but it's not as predominant as the gold color is that's right next to it. So I put Sugar Cookie in my inner corner, and then I went into Honey Dipped. And Honey Dipped, I put that all over my lid, and I love this color. This is my perfect gold. I am going to tell you though, as soon as I dipped my brush in, you can probably see what the color looks like. It is very soft. So it did start to crumble a little bit, and now I've got a dent in my color, which isn't a deal breaker, especially since it is a beautiful color. But it is something that I thought I would mention here. I'm also going to tell you that the mattes do have some kick up. If that bothers you, well, I'm telling you, it exists. Just blow it away and it's fine. There is, however, some fallout when it comes to these particular colors. So I did get some glitter fallout on my cheeks, which again, I probably should have just put a little bit of powder to catch any fallout and then wipe it away. I didn't in this case, but I was able to brush most of it away. Just be aware, use a wet brush, use powder or a shadow shield underneath your eyes when you are creating your look, or hell, just do your eyes before you do your foundation, whatever your preference is. And then for my outer corner, I did go into chocolate mousse. I wanted a very muted color in the outer corner, and so I just threw that in there as a little bit of a definition to really bring the whole look together. I love how everything is wearing on my eyes. I think it was so simple and easy to create. For the lower lash line, really quickly, I did go into Warm Pie, so I stamped that on my lower lash line, and then I used Bittersweet to blow it out and blend it just a little bit more, just so it wasn't too dark. I wanted to tie my crease color into my lower lash line just to make it a little more uniform. The palette was so easy to use. I really love all of the tones in here. The blendability, the pigment is here, and I think the curation of colors. So as you see this palette, you can create an infinite amount of looks with this. I think it's a really good staple, and it's definitely a palette that I feel I'm going to be reaching for quite a bit. I think Kristen has a huge hit on her hands with this palette. I am a fan. I am a convert. I love this formula. I love this palette, and it really makes me want to invest in that latte palette as well. But one step at a time. I think I'm going to take my time really playing around with this and enjoying it as much as possible. And that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know the drill. Give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know if you've had a chance to try any of the Dominique eyeshadows. And if you haven't, let me know what your favorite eyeshadow palette is in your collection. If you guys want to connect with me outside of YouTube, you can always hit me up on my social media. I'm gonna make sure to link everything for you in my description box below. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you are all having a fantabulous day, no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.